So, hi, Sarah. Thank you again. So nice to have you here. And thanks for joining. Today, we're talking a bit about our artist, Frankie, who got awarded a golden ticket in our open call for the AI Art magazine. And you've been the jury who selected Frankie. So maybe you can quickly introduce yourself and then we have a bit of a chat about the artwork.
Thank you for the little intro, Mike. I'm Sara Giusto. I live in Tokyo. I do several different things, but kind of all relating back to creativity, art, and technology. I actually have a background in fine art, but right now I find myself a producer for virtual humans in a company called All. And there every day I am kind of in the seams of art and technology with a virtual human girl that's doing Instagram. And in a way, for me, that's art. For others, it might not be. But in that way, I really find AI art, virtual art, all of these things fascinating and new tools for humans to connect. And thank you for having me as a jury for this amazing competition. I was so surprised to see how many hundreds of works that were submitted. Yeah.
Yeah, we literally got flooded. I mean, it was amazing. And all of those super nice works. I mean, this was really, really, really amazing.
For sure. I was super surprised of how many people were playing around with AI, and they all had different, expressions and backgrounds. Some were creative directors, some were photographers, some never had done anything art before. So, yeah, it's fun to see how humans spend their time creating works.
Absolutely. So, was it hard for you to pick something? I mean, out of so many submissions.
Oh yeah, for sure. I think I've just been a very like art kid all my life, so I have an eye for like really meticulous details, and I love to look at artwork that and I appreciate just the artistry of it most of the time. And I thought many others might pick something more conceptual. Um and so I tried to pick something that related to kind of like my art form, which actually, it looks like a the work by Frankie looks very human, and I think that's kind of the artwork that I relate to, creating virtual humans and all of that. And yeah, it was quite hard, but it really just caught my eye. So yeah,
I will.
no regrets.
Very good, very good. I will just show the art, and
Mm.
maybe we can talk a bit about it. As really stunning, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I look at a lot of AI art, and many of the times I'm like, I could imagine a process, I could imagine a prompt, or I would see something that's like an AI aesthetic. You can kind of tell that like it's stylized in a way because everyone uses similar tools. In a way that it's like, oh, it's like AI art. People can kind of tell. With this work, I think there were meticulous post production done. I mean, just the colors were just beautiful. But if you look really closely, the details that usually AI art doesn't have, um, this work had everything. So like, you could literally imagine this being as strong as an artwork as any other artwork in an art gallery or art museum, because it's not just dependent on this one tool or one style. I think it had enough strength in the artwork itself, down to the details. Yeah.
Yeah, I had a chat with the artist beforehand,
Mm.
and he does this kind of as a side project. He also works as an illustrator. Do you think
Mm.
this also has a bit of influence in his work?
Oh yeah, for sure. Like the way the layers are very 2D, but very, I think, the beauty of illustrations. I was just recently looking at a whole 500 page illustration book recently in a Japanese bookstore, and I was like, because I'm so used to seeing like 3D stuff and like movies and real life people. Like when you go back to like the beauty of illustrations, which is in like like this one simple line could be beautiful, or how an artist um expresses a space through simple lines or colors, is so beautiful. And I think that like love for illustrations, this work really brought that back. And I think his expertise and just, the colors and the details that goes in all, like, clearly very, he has a lot of years in illustration, and just creating art like this.
Yeah, thank you very much. I think we can also have a quick look at everyone to just recommend have a look
Hmm.
at the Instagram feed of Frankie, because all of his work is really nice, and I think it's yeah, highly recommended
Yeah.
to drop in and leave a like.
No, for sure. I think the colors are super beautiful. I mean, you really can't get that. I feel like it. I don't know. I think a lot of people's opinions about AR art is like, you just click a button and then a picture comes up, which in a lot of cases, yes, that's actually how it is. But, when actually people who have years of expertise in making artwork a certain way, or just a similar, just specific taste, it really shows. And I think it really shows that they're using AI as just a tool, to express what they want, and I think that really expressed through, you can see in his portfolio, whether it's AI, whether it's illustration or like Illustrator, or whether it's traditional art, it has this similar taste and the aesthetic that I think he's very connected to. Um, and yeah, I think that just brings it to a whole new level of, AI is just a tool for your expression.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. So you just mentioned the Japanese bookstore. So I would be super curious. I mean, you're very far away from my own location and my own experience. So how do you see AI development at the moment in Asia? So what is going on over there?
I think it's definitely different from the Western way of how people see AI. Whenever I talk about AI, or anything even virtual these days, a lot of Western people are like either very scared or very forward thinking. They're like, yes, I work in tech too. Um, I think it's more of a seamless topic in Asia. I think we just have different narratives. I think whilst Western culture has very big narratives around humans being very separate from other things, humans being number one, humans being so different from these animals, like, you know, monkeys or nature, we're the superior beings. And I think that's the Christianity way of thinking at things, that God made humans special. I think that, like, underneath, that goes underneath a lot of robot movies like I Robot, where Will Smith is trying to save us from these scary robots, or Terminator. I think there's a huge wall. It's like humans versus something, or humans versus robots, humans versus AI. Whereas I think a lot of narratives and a lot of even like religious, um, beliefs underneath a lot of the narratives in Asia. For example, if you look at Doraemon, which is one of the most popular, animes, cartoon animes, like kid shows in Asia. Like, you would see this, it's like a Powerpuff Girl. Like, everyone knows what a Powerpuff Girl looks like. Everyone knows what a Doraemon looks like, and it's this robot that is befriending this boy, a human boy, and then the boy, it's a whole big series, but the boy is eating this snack, and he splits it in half and gives the other half to the robot. And that just shows you the difference in narrative from Terminator to literally sharing half a snack with a robot and treating it like a human, right? And I think that's definitely, there's underneath of religion that doesn't consider humans special, that considers humans very, not superior to nature, or even like a rock beside you. Everything has its place, and we're not the most superior race. And I do resonate a lot with that thinking. So that was a really long answer, but the way we see AI in Asia is totally different. I think very refreshing to this black and white way of seeing it in the West. Yeah.
I mean, this is super interesting, and this is a bit of surprising to me. There's a lot of also a lot of things coming back to religion. Just I think it was 1 week ago, I was invited by Annika from Expanded Art in an exhibition in Essen, and we had a talk together with the priest there on
Mm.
religion and AI. So I think is much more of a topic than I would have originally thought, and it's super interesting to also see like perspectives from a different culture, basically. Yeah.
For
So I
sure, for
think.
sure. I think AI is less of this like new destructive force. I think it's more of a way of having conversations around different cultures, because I think
Mhm.
it goes over so many things like what does a this certain country or culture perceive what a human is, or what we consider personalities are, or how we connect to people. I think it's it's one of the my favorite topics to talk about regarding how human culture and the difference in human culture treat it, because I think this just this one narrative of being AI being this destructive, scary thing is not the truth, not the whole truth, at least. So yeah.
And how do you see development in the art scene? Like, is it growing, or is it already in day-to-day art discussions around?
I I think it is. I have a lot of artist friends, clearly, because it's come from that background. I went to art university, all of that. I think every person has thought about AI, and some of them are even experimenting with AI, even if they've never touched it before. And I think a lot of these artists are already artists that have thought about, using technology, like for example, video work or coding in their work. And I think that it relates a lot to what they've already done, which is kind of like, kind of collaborating with this like computer thing. Even CG is collaborating with this computer thing to create something, right? So I think people are very open. I think people are exploring. And I think art is one of the ways that we will definitely understand AI, and not through these scary movies. Yeah.
But this also explains like why you have this incredible success with your virtual human in Asia. What you don't see that like such a big thing or at the moment in Europe. So
Mm, for sure. I think
maybe that's also the explanation.
for sure. I think we're 20 years ahead of in terms of virtual characters.
Mm.
Um, like literally, you would see Japan's top music chart, like not even like per genre, like per the whole thing. And the second artist would be Ado, and she's a virtual singer. Like she never shows her face. She just shows an anime character. That's her, and people love her. So it's like, when is that gonna happen in the U.S.? Like maybe in 20 years? Yeah.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's really amazing.
Yeah.
So do you think Ima is going to make art and getting creative herself in the near future as well, or virtual
For
humans in general?
I think that'll be pretty fun. We've already done like exhibitions where artists make work inspired by virtual humans or virtual
Mm.
IPs. So yeah, I think that's totally a possibility. For me, even EMA is this big art project in a way, and I
Oh
think a
yeah,
lot of people understand it that way. So yeah.
I think so. So I'm looking into the community if there are any questions to Sarah from the community. If not at the moment. So
Mm,
yeah, I think thank you so much for taking the time. Also for taking the time being a jury member on our magazine. And yeah, thanks for joining and have a nice evening.
thank you so much. Bye.
Thank
Guten
you. Bye
Tag.
bye.